Everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Omni here. Today we're going to be going over Matrix 1, the Bulwark form. I'm going to go over the gear with you guys real quick. I'm going to go up with my setups and where my inspiration stuff goes. We'll do a quick talk about my timings and everything that I use, and then I will skip to the auto run so you can see everything in full action. I just managed to get to 100k without using Praetus. The key to the strategy was actually Ajax after his buff. So as for the gear, first off we have Ezereth. I've got him in Hell's Lament. Hell's Lament is a wonderful set. It allows you to keep the stacks low and burst down anything that you've accumulated when you get to the Pact of Silence. So here's my setup. Most of my characters have at least one crit damage piece, except for this one apparently. Next we got Beelzebub in a Wings of Grace set. High attack speed, high HP. Some healing effect if you can find it, just in your substats. Tends to help out, especially when you get towards the end of the runs. Magda, again, Hell's Lament. Rosalia. Rosalia I found works best in Soulbound Arcana. I haven't been able to see too much difference when using the Cataclysm since she doesn't do any damage outside of her ultimate. Zealous. The thing about Zealous I found, I do have his exclusive bangle, but I found it works better to not use it. When you use his bangle, it tends to carry over outside of the Pact of Silence. So again, this way we're trying to keep the stacks down outside of that time window. And with all your mages, try to make sure that you get as much HP as you possibly can on them. Once you get up to about 300 stacks, it's extremely tough to keep everybody alive. Ingrid here, I've got her in an attack speed main amulet, just so that the faster she goes, the more time she gets her big burst off. And generally you'll see with the placement, it usually tends to line up in the proper time area. Wukong is going to be our tank. So again, I have him in Wings of Grace. He's going to be giving inspiration to Zealous. High HP, high attack speed. Just so he's putting out those clones. Ajax. Ajax is a real hard one. Just about most of his kit has HP bonus or HP flat stat in there because he does have kind of a low HP. If you have better rings than I do, you can also take advantage of that. If you have a North Throne ring in Hell's Lament set, it can help incredibly. Valara, same thing. And her exclusive, and then LON. For her, I use Ty's Balm. You're going to have to kind of set yourself up, get your run situated, and then you can kind of tweak your gear. I found for my setup that the Ty's Balm tends to help a lot. You can also use the Elysium Epitaph. And I also know some people do try to run the Euphoric Orb. I've tried the other two, it just didn't seem to work out for me. Okay, so let's get into my placements and timings, and then we'll get into the auto rod. So the first thing I like to do is get in here and make sure that it's on 1-time speed, and then restart. That way I can get a fresh start. Sometimes I find out that it's, in 2 times, and you really want to make sure it's in 1 time when you start. That way you can get the absolute quickest down placement and maximize as much damage as you can. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to place Ingrid in the top right, pointed left, and as soon as you get her down, we're going to make sure to swap her to single target mode. Next, we're going to place Elowen facing right to give her inspiration. Next is going to be Rosalia facing left. Beelzebub to give her inspiration. Next, we're going to be placing Zealous up top facing left. Wukong for inspiration. Valara on the right. Magda to the right to give penetration to everybody around her. Ezerith, make sure you swap them. Ajax, and then at the 27-second mark, go on ahead and swap your Ingrid. I found this to be the most effective for at least the build that I have. You're going to have to try it out for yourself. So as soon as I get the ultimate for Wukong, I go on ahead and make sure that I use it. That's going to come real handy towards the end. Now, about halfway through the decay, the first decay, I'm going to go ahead and use Magda, followed by Elowen. At the beginning of the second single target strike, I'm going to go with Rosalia as soon as the bar pops up. Bingo. And then halfway, Valara. I usually have everybody set for auto ult with the exception of Elowen. I usually do her manually. I found this just to be easier for myself. So now we're going to wait till 6:43 and hit auto ults. And let everybody go. Make sure you take it off after you've got everybody going. As soon as it's over, swap Ezerith back so he can start accumulating his little orbs. And then it's a rinse and repeat all the way through. Now again, depending on your gear and your setup and what you have going on, these might be different for you. You just gotta take a little bit of time and tweak it here and there and see what truly works best for your setup. So again, Decay, Elowen, wait for the focus strike. And then Valara. And away we go. Now I normally repeat this strategy all the way up until you get to about 3 minutes. At 3 minutes, everybody kind of tends to get out of sync. Rosalia starts to fall behind, and Magda starts to fall behind. At that point, I just turn on auto ults for everybody. And again, just manual Eloin to make sure that the stacks of poison don't accumulate too high. So that's everything in a nutshell. Let's get this thing restarted and let's get into the auto run.
Se bate mim, eu tô perdido. Bora, viado, se intimida, vem, joga com pressão. Que a triqueta pra animar, uma rugida de putaria.